Hey Spiced Rum fans, in this video I've got a quick review and tasting of this, it really sounds awesome actually, Spiced Rum. This is Karisimbi and it's for the Gorilla Spirits Company. So if you want to know all about this, stay tuned. Hey gang, so this week another proper spiced rum for you. As I've just mentioned, this is from the Gorilla Spirits Company. I first met Paul, I want to say 2017. They started off like most of these distilleries now. They started off with gin, but the cool thing that sort of drew me towards him is that for every bottle they sell, they donate £1 of that sale to the Gorilla Foundation to help save gorillas. So hence the name, the Gorilla Spirits Company. I thought that was really cool. I do love it. I do love the gorillas and chimps and things like that. So that really sat well with me. So since then, since 2017, they've released a few more gins onto the market, and then they released a Coffee Liqueur. I'm not sure whether that was actually 2019 or the tail end of 2018. So we've got a really nice Coffee Liqueur as well. Now, Paul and the gang, the distillery is kind of Hampshire way. It's just a bit southwest of Basingstoke. That's kind of where they're based, and then they do distill their own gins. However, the rums for this are imported. This is a 42% spiced rum, and the only thing else I'll quickly add in before I tell you about the actual spirit itself is that, like a lot of the UK based guys, this is actually quite expensive as well. Amazon, I think, just slightly under the £40 mark. So we're going to see whether it lives up to those expectations. It does sound like it possibly could do. It's got a kind of a different flavour profile, which when I found out, I was like, ooh, that sounds really tasty. Let me just tell you, so just a bit to read on the back of the bottle. So here we go. Let's dive into this. Evocative cinnamon and warming ginger, luscious, this is what got me, blood orange and soft creamy vanilla, all served to raise our Demerara rum to a new mountain heights. Speaking of mountains, I think it does actually say here, Karisimbi is the highest, so that's the name of the rum. Karisimbi is the highest of 8 mountains in excuse my African, Virunga mountain range, home to the critically endangered mountain gorillas. And the one thing I do know about Mount Karisimbi, I think I've got this right, it's Rwanda. It borders Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. So that's kind of where that's whole based under. So lots of gorillas live there. That's what it's all named after. And just quickly, lastly, before we get into the smelling and the tasting, the based rums, we've got 3 different island rums going in there, aged and unaged. We've got Jamaican, we've got Barbados, and we've got rums from the Dominican Republic. Right then, what does this smell like? Well, on the nose, kind of a little bit reminiscent of things like dark matter, those kind of, I call them sort of Christmas cakey spiced rums. Very reminiscent with that, although not as big and in your face. I definitely get wafts of vanilla on there. The orange is very subtly in the background, but the one thing that does back it up is that cinnamon. Do get quite a bit of cinnamon, so the big 2 noses that come off that, definitely vanilla, definitely cinnamon, but you do get the orange in the background as well. And regarding the ginger, actually it is fighting to get through. It's fighting to get over the top of the cinnamon, but I tell you, the longer you have a little whiff of this, there is the ginger there, but it is definitely not as prominent as that kind of that cinnamon and that vanilla. They're the big 2 notes that come out. Does smell pretty tasty. I don't see, when I smell dark matter and things like that, I immediately go to Christmas cake, but even though this smells like it, I'm not convinced that's going to be really in your face kind of like that. Let's crack on. Let's see what it tastes like. Right then, taste wise, let's go sweetness scale first. 2. I'm going with a confident 2 out of 5 on that. that really isn't that sweet. There is a touch of sweetness there, but if I can compare it to big brands that you would know, so Dead Man's Fingers to what else have we got? The Lambs, Rum Bullion, all those kind of big brands, your favourites. I know you guys in the Spiced Rum Club, those kind of go-tos for that. It is not as sweet as those. So if I'm giving those 3s and 3.5s, this is definitely a 2. Now, here is where the fun comes in, because it's nothing like Dark Matter or anything that's those sort of Christmas cakey rums. It's nothing like that at all. This is actually really, really lovely. So they all kind of burst at you first. The orange really, really does come through on the taste. Vanilla, probably not so much. Actually, on the nose, it is there. But on the taste, it's the orange, it's the ginger, subtle, very, very subtle hints of cinnamon. There's more cinnamon on the nose than there is on the taste. That is just very well balanced. It's absolutely gorgeous. I really, really like this. However, this is going to be, I don't mean however in a bad way. I can, when I taste rums, I can immediately sort of think in my head what mixers they're going to go with. This one for me is going to be a little bit harder to sort of match up, I think. I don't know, but we shall see. But neat. Really do like that. Well played, guys. That is lovely. Right then, how can you best enjoy Karisimbi as a highball, as a long mixed drink? Not too many, as in it's not a universal rum that goes with most mixers. I found some very clear things that worked and some very clear things that didn't work. As always now, I've got my daiquiri ready to go there. I've had a little sip. I have had a little sip. I normally don't, but or you kind of tell I got a little bit excited. But first off, Coke. I didn't actually think this was going to be a Coke player, but it is. And actually, they were the two. So I've got normal Coca-Cola Zero there, and Coke, the signature, the chili, the spicy one. I really did enjoy those, actually. It's kind of, you get that little bit of ginger warmth in there, but the orange kind of comes through. And I just think that is a really different spiced rum and Coke. I've not had something kind of like that taste profile, that sort of oranginess, as a spiced rum and Coke. So that was really, really interesting for me. Really like that. Next up, I'm coming to the ginger ales, and actually the Fever Tree spiced orange ginger ale. So even the orange in the rum and the orange in that, they didn't sort of counterbalance each other at all. They would just kind of, counteract each other. It just works. It's a lovely, refreshing highball, and of course, ginger ale hasn't got that massive gingery kick, so the gingery kick comes out of the rum there, and normal ginger ale as well. I did prefer the spiced orange, but that was equally as lovely. Now, my third choice mixer. This is going to be a bit of a different one for you guys, because ginger beer. Yes, I did try it. It's an okay. I didn't massively enjoy it with ginger beer. Some of you will, I know that. The tropical sodas and the pineapple sodas, again, all right. It's not a flavour combination that just worked for me. That was all. You can enjoy that much better. Same with the fruity stuff as well. The pineapple sodas, the Rubicon passion fruits. Again, I don't think it lends itself to the fruity stuff. But the one thing that it did lend itself to, and I really enjoyed this, is elixirs of blood orange and cinnamon tonic water. And that was very interesting, and I really did enjoy that. It's not a massively bitter tonic water, but it has got a little bit of bitterness to it. But I tell you what, that was really, really fun. I don't get too many rum and tonic drinks going on. There's a few I kind of like, but not overly too much. But that's definitely my third place. So there we have it. First place, and then second place, and then third place. So here we go for the daiquiri. Now here's the thing, so daiquiris, I'm making them 4-2-1. The sugar and lime is always about your ratios, not the bartenders. So some people have got a lot sweeter tooths than others. So 4-2-1, or for me in this, because it's a little bit smaller, I've got 2, 1 and half. So 2 rum, 1 lime, half sugar. And that is absolutely delicious, and quite possibly my favourite way out of all 3 of those, or out of all 4, to actually enjoy that. I actually think the Coke, it's a tough call between that and the Coke. The Coke is good, but I tell you what, if you like your daiquiris, that is a stonking daiquiri rum. That really is. Really enjoyed that. So there we have it. I think this is definitely one to add to your collections. There'll be links in the show notes of where you can get this from. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one.